Amid the bustling life of ancient Athens, a man named Darius lived. He was kind-hearted and hardworking, always wanting the best for those around him. Yet, despite his good intentions, he constantly struggled with the behavior of the people close to him. His neighbor would borrow items and forget to return them. His best friend was always late, and his younger sister often evaded family responsibilities. Darius tried repeatedly to change these habits, hoping that those around him could be more considerate and accountable. But his efforts only led to more frustration and weariness. One afternoon, after another exasperating encounter with his neighbor, Darius decided to take a walk outside the city to clear his mind. Wandering aimlessly, he found himself in a lush orchard filled with ripe fruit, the sweet fragrance filling the air. As he strolled among the vibrant trees, he noticed an elderly man carefully pruning branches, removing withered limbs with a calm, attentive touch. The man noticed Darius's troubled expression, greeted him warmly, and invited him to sit and share a few juicy apples. Darius felt a wave of relief wash over him, and he began to share his frustrations, speaking openly about the resentment he felt when those around him didn't live up to his expectations. The elderly man listened intently, his gaze steady and understanding, as if he'd heard such concerns many times before. When Darius finished speaking, the old man plucked an apple from a nearby branch, held it up and asked, "Young man, do you know what kind of fruit this is?" Darius was taken aback by the simplicity of the question, but answered politely, "It's an apple, sir." The old man nodded, then asked, "Now, if you wanted this apple tree to bear oranges, do you think that no matter how much effort you put into it, it could ever produce them?" Darius shook his head, catching on to the point the old man was making, and replied, "Of course not. An apple tree can only grow apples." The old man smiled gently. "Exactly," he said. "Just as the apple tree can only bear apples, people can only act according to their nature. Trying to change someone's nature will only lead to disappointment. Hoping that an apple tree will suddenly give you oranges is impossible. Rather than wasting your time and energy trying to change others, you should accept them as they are. Their nature is something no one can forcefully alter." Darius sat in thoughtful silence, reflecting on the old man's words. A new understanding was dawning within him. After a while, he asked, "Then, what should I do to stop feeling disappointed?" The elderly man, still holding his apple, took a bite and replied, "Focus on what you can control, your own thoughts and actions. You have the power to choose how you respond to others' behavior. Accept that people will act in their own way, just as the apple tree bears only apples. This acceptance will bring you peace within yourself." It was as if a weight had lifted from Darius's shoulders. He realized that all this time, he had been trying to do the impossible, and it had only added to his sorrow. Grateful, he thanked the old man for this profound lesson and promised to carry it with him for the rest of his life. Returning to the city, Darius felt more at peace than he ever had before. He understood that, although he couldn't control others, he could choose how he faced their behavior, with patience and empathy. From that day forward, whenever he felt the sting of disappointment rising, he recalled the old man's story of the apple tree. Thanks to that wisdom, Darius lived a happy, serene life in harmony with those around him, freed from the burden of unrealistic expectations. If you found this story meaningful, consider liking and sharing it to spread its valuable message to others. And don't forget to subscribe to stay with us for more inspiring lessons in future videos.